All right, so we're diving deep today into the world of the didgeridoo, the physics behind its sound. It's really a fascinating instrument.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you've sent me some really great material here. So, you know how like some sounds just totally grab you? I mean, like really stop you in your tracks.
Yeah.
The didgeridoo for me has always been like that.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
that deep resonant drone and these incredible rhythmic pulses?
Yeah.
It makes you curious how such a simple looking tube can create such a complex and captivating sound.
How like.
So if you've ever felt that pull, that desire to understand the science behind it and the
Yeah.
artistry without getting bogged down by all the jargon,
Yeah.
then stick with us today because this deep dive is going to unpack exactly what makes the didgeridoo so unique.
Absolutely. So we're going to embark today on a journey into the acoustics of the didgeridoo.
Okay.
And we have this fantastic guide, the website Didgeridoo Physics, Didgeridoo Sound Design and Crafting Physics Acoustics
Okay.
by Dr. Frank Geipel.
Okay.
Think of this website as a gold mine of information.
Okay.
It covers everything from how the instrument is designed and the fundamental physics behind it to Dr. Geipel's innovative CADSD method.
Got you.
It's computer-aided dig sound design.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can...
And to really get a feel for all of this, right, we're also going to reference some of the great content on the YouTube channel, CADSD-Frank.
Absolutely.
You can find videos there. Like
There's some great stuff on there.
CADSD Trom Stock HD.
Yep.
Didgeridoo Test Mitt Patrick in Eisenbach 2018. And even some really insightful glimpses into traditional playing with traditional sound journey through Aboriginal Arnhem Land.
Yeah.
And a very moving tribute in honorable memory of Mai Duwai, the great guardian of the Adaki, www.didgeridoo-physic.de.
That's a good one, yeah.
So with all of this as our starting point today, our mission for this deep dive is really straightforward.
Okay.
We want to understand the core physics
Yeah.
that give the didgeridoo its voice
Okay.
and how its physical makeup combined with the player's skill creates that really distinctive sound that we all recognize.
For sure. What's fascinating is that the sound of the didgeridoo isn't just about the wooden instrument itself.
Okay.
Dr. Geipel explains that.
Yeah.
It emerges from a complete acoustic system.
Okay.
So you could almost think of it...
Like an ecosystem or?
Yeah, like a complete system.
Okay.
You could almost think of it as a body synthesizer.
Okay, a body synthesizer.
Yeah, with several key parts working together in harmony.
Okay, so break that down for me.
Okay. So,
what are the main components?
so you have the didgeridoo's air column itself.
Okay.
This acts as the primary sound producer or the first oscillator.
Okay.
It creates sound through what are called lip-excited intrinsic resonances.
Okay.
Then you have the player's voice,
Right.
which is the second oscillator,
Okay.
adding another layer of complexity and richness.
Right.
But it doesn't stop there.
Okay.
The player's mouth, and especially the tongue, acts as an active dynamic filter,
Okay.
really shaping and molding the sound that comes out.
Right.
And finally, the player's lungs and diaphragm
Okay.
function like a drum machine,
Okay.
providing the essential airflow that keeps the whole system energized.
Wow.
How do you
So
feel?
that sounds like a lot of intricate interaction happening all at once.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A lot more dynamic than I imagined.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but for the main focus of our deep dive today, we're going to zoom in primarily on that first oscillator.
Okay.
The inherent acoustic properties of the didgeridoo itself.
So the didgeridoo itself, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and understanding the physics of the instrument is really the foundational first step
Right.
in appreciating the whole system.
Okay.
So for you, the listener, grasping these basic principles is going to be key to understanding the more complex sounds later on.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, so let's delve into those fundamental physical principles then.
Okay.
What is it about the didgeridoo that makes it sound like, well, a didgeridoo?
At its core,
Yeah.
a didgeridoo is an irregularly shaped tube. And that varied shape is absolutely crucial
Okay.
because it dictates how the column of air inside vibrates.
Okay.
This air column has its own set of natural vibration frequencies,
Okay.
which scientists call resonance frequencies,
Okay.
or sometimes eigenresonances.
Okay, eigenresonances.
Yeah. Think of these as the notes the tube naturally wants to play.
Okay.
What's really interesting is that these resonance frequencies will be different
Okay.
depending on whether the end you blow into the mouthpiece
Yeah,
is open or closed.
that makes sense. I mean, like,
Yeah, intuitively.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
So how do we actually hear
Yeah, how do we hear?
these different natural resonances of the tube?
Yeah.
Dr. Geipel describes a really simple way to hear them.
Okay.
If you tap or strike the mouthpiece with your hand while it's closed, the sounds you hear are those eigenresonance frequencies of the tube when one end is closed. These correspond to what are called impedance maxima.
Okay, impedance maxima.
Basically, frequencies where the air column strongly holds onto the sound.
Okay.
Leading to a stronger resonance.
Gotcha.
But if you immediately open the mouthpiece right after striking it, you'll hear a different set of resonance frequencies.
Okay.
These are the eigenresonances of the tube when both ends are open.
Gotcha.
And they occur at the impedance minima frequencies, where the air column more easily lets the sound out.
So these resonance frequencies are essentially the didgeridoo's inherent set of notes.
Yeah.
Its natural scale.
Precisely.
Even before the player does anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Each resonance frequency of the closed-end pipe is playable.
Okay.
The lowest one gives you that fundamental drone that we all associate with the didgeridoo.
Right.
And the higher ones produce those toops or overblown tones that skilled players can achieve. This series of playable frequencies forms the instrument's own unique natural scale.
Okay.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Unlike, say, a guitar string,
where
the higher notes or the overtones are mathematically reloaded in a very regular way. They're harmonic.
Right.
The didgeridoo's natural scale isn't perfectly harmonic because of its irregular internal shape.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so
when you play that fundamental drone, it still produces higher frequencies, right? Those overtones.
It does.
But they might not perfectly align with the didgeridoo's own natural resonant frequencies.
The fundamental tone does indeed produce a series of overtones.
Okay.
They're like echoes at higher pitches.
Okay.
However, these overtone frequencies generally don't perfectly match up with the didgeridoo's natural resonances.
Okay.
Except when they happen to coincide.
Okay.
And when they do align, those overtones get amplified.
Okay.
Sometimes becoming very prominent, singing harmonics. If their sound energy also travels efficiently out of the wider end or the bell end.
So it's almost like the didgeridoo has its own built-in equalizer.
It does.
Boosting some frequencies that match its shape and reducing others.
That's a fantastic analogy.
Yeah.
The internal shape of the didgeridoo acts like a filter.
Okay.
Amplifying the frequencies that resonate well within it.
Yeah.
And dampening those that don't.
Right.
This filtering effect is absolutely fundamental to the instrument's characteristic sound.
Okay.
So for you as the listener, understanding this filtering helps explain why different didgeridoos can sound so distinct.
Right.
Even when playing the same fundamental note.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about the player's voice a little bit more.
Yeah, okay.
How does that blend with the didgeridoo's natural sound?
When a player sings a tone that happens to match one of the didgeridoo's resonance frequencies, that sung tone will also get amplified by the instrument. But in traditional playing styles, particularly in Western Arnhem Land, there's an even more intricate interaction. The fundamental drone being produced by the lips and the tone being sung by the player can create what are called sum and difference frequencies. Essentially new tones that can be both higher and lower in pitch than the original two frequencies.
Okay, so mixing frequencies.
Yeah, like mixed frequencies.
Okay.
These mixed frequencies then interact with the didgeridoo's resonances.
Okay.
And this is crucial for creating those distinctive rough gargling sounds that are so characteristic of that style.
I love that sound.
Yeah, it's a cool sound.
Yeah. Okay, so what about the physical properties of the didgeridoo itself? Like, you know, the type of wood?
Yeah.
How does the material play a role in the sound?
When a played frequency has more of its overtones aligning with the didgeridoo's natural resonances, it leads to a stronger overall resonance. This also translates to a higher acoustic impedance, which the player might feel is more back pressure when they're blowing. In addition to this, the material the didgeridoo is made from will absorb some of the sound energy as the air column vibrates. Harder, more rigid materials tend to absorb less of this energy, which can result in a sound that's often described as more analytical or clearer in its harmonic overtones.
So a didgeridoo made from a softer wood might have like a warmer sound.
That's the general idea.
Yeah,
Now, it's interesting to compare how Western players and traditional Aboriginal players approach the instrument.
Okay, how's that different?
Western players often focus on something called format variation,
Okay.
where they actively change the shape and size of the resonance spaces in their vocal tract, their mouth and throat.
Right.
And this, in turn, modifies the existing overtone spectrum that the didgeridoo is already producing.
Okay. And the traditional techniques used by Aboriginal players, are they
different?
Different, yeah.
Especially in northeastern Arnhem Land.
Okay.
Players there utilize very dynamic movements of their tongue to actively excite the entire spectrum of the didgeridoo's natural resonances.
Okay.
This can happen even when the mouthpiece is closed. For example, in a technique often called the cut. Or briefly when the mouthpiece opens due to changes in air pressure. During rapid tongue movements combined with very quick breathing. These techniques can produce percussive drum-like sounds and those really distinctive flurrying or wobbling harmonic effects where different natural resonances of the instrument are alternately emphasized.
So it sounds like they're really tapping into the full acoustic potential of the instrument in those traditional styles?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
Now, it's fascinating to note that the first third of the didgeridoo's internal shape, the section closest to the mouthpiece, has the most significant impact on the overall sound. This is a big reason why naturally grown eucalyptus didgeridoos, especially those carefully selected and prepared by Aboriginal builders, can have such unique and interesting sounds due to the often complex and varied internal structures found in this crucial area.
So that makes sense, that initial shape, right, where the sound originates?
It's critical.
That's really critical in shaping that final tone.
Indeed. And it's also worth mentioning that highly experienced players can employ specific techniques using pulses of air pressure. Sometimes referred to as the Dubrovko air code.
The Dubrovko air code.
To actually play the resonance frequencies of both the closed and open pipe. As short percussive bursts of sound. Almost like hitting a drum.
Wow.
And furthermore, truly skilled players can even coax flute-like tones from the open pipe resonances using specialized embouchure and air control.
Wow, so it's far more involved than just like humming into a tube.
It is.
Yeah. So this brings us to CADSD. Can you explain what that is and how it helps us in understanding the didgeridoo's sound in a more detailed way?
CADSD stands for Computer-Aided Didge Sound Design. It's a method that Dr. Geipel developed to theoretically analyze and predict the acoustic properties of a didgeridoo using computer simulations. One of the key tools within CADSD is the logarithmic input impedance spectrum.
The logarithm
measured at the mouthpiece. This data is often visualized using spectral colors.
Spectral colors.
Where the audible frequencies are mapped onto the visible spectrum by shifting them in octaves.
So that sounds like a really interesting way to visualize sound.
It is.
But like, what do these colorful representations actually tell us?
The black peaks you see in this color spectrum represent impedance maxima.
The impedance maxima.
Remember we talked about this earlier?
Yeah.
These peaks correspond to the playable tones. The fundamental drone and all the various toots or overblows that are easiest to produce when the mouthpiece is closed with your lips. Or when using those closed pressure pulse techniques. Conversely, the impedance minima, which are the low points in the spectrum, correspond to wind tones or those open flute-like tones that can be played over the open mouthpiece or with open pressure pulses. So for you, the listener, think of the high black peaks as the notes the didgeridoo prefers to play.
So the high and low points in this colorful spectrum are essentially a visual map.
That's a good way to put it.
Of the didgeridoo's potential notes. And how easily they can be played.
In a way, yes.
Additionally,
CADSD provides another visual. A logarithmic spectrum showing the relative air movement at the bell end. Which is usually represented as a white line against a black background. Higher peaks in this spectrum indicate that sound energy at those particular frequencies is transmitted more effectively out of the instrument into the air. Meaning those frequencies will likely be louder when the didgeridoo is played.
That makes sense.
There's also a gray spectrum, which represents the combined and weighted input impedance of the overtones associated with each frequency. Interestingly, very high gray peaks can sometimes be played as very low pedal-like tones.
So that's a lot of information right there.
Yeah.
But what about the red and blue spectra?
Okay.
I've seen those sometimes shown as well.
The red spectrum shows the simulated sound spectrum. When the first impedance peak, which is the fundamental drone, is played.
Gotcha.
The blue spectrum then shows the simulated sound spectrum. When the second impedance peak, the first toot or overblow is played. For the initial analysis, the spectra of the higher toots aren't usually displayed to keep things clear.
So just the first two.
Yeah, just the first two.
Yeah,
CADSD also utilizes a color-coded representation to illustrate how the relative local air displacement, maximum movement of air particles, varies along the length of the inside of the didgeridoo for the first 10 harmonics. This helps visualize how different parts of the air column are active for different frequencies.
So that's a huge amount of detail.
It is.
All derived from these visual tools.
Yes.
Can you give us a specific example of what a CADSD analysis might reveal about a particular didgeridoo?
In the examples Dr. Geipel provides on his website, he's analyzed various didgeridoos and identified their key impedance peaks and minima. For instance, in one example, the closed-mouth playable tones corresponding to the impedance maxima were found to be a fundamental drone around the musical note, D.
A D.
The first overblow around D sharp, a second overblow around A, and the third around C.
Gotcha.
The open mouth playable flute tones linked to the impedance minima were around F sharp, F and B.
Gotcha.
So this gives a very precise picture of the instrument's natural tendencies.
That really clarifies how CADSD can break down the acoustic fingerprint of a didgeridoo. So what was the main motivation behind developing this whole CADSD approach?
The primary motivation came from the desire of many advanced didgeridoo players to find instruments with truly ideal sound and playing characteristics. Often commercially produced didgeridoos don't fully meet these very specific needs. And exceptionally well-crafted traditional instruments can be very rare and expensive. This situation led Dr. Geipel to start thinking about building his own didgeridoos and to explore whether computer simulation could be a valuable tool in achieving the desired internal shapes and ultimately the desired sound while also minimizing the number of unsuccessful attempts in the building process.
So it's almost like trying to scientifically reverse engineer the perfect sound.
And in a way, yes. While there's a significant amount of knowledge available about the properties of different woods and how they might influence the sound, Dr. Geipel's main focus was on the impact of the internal shape of the didgeridoo. He also acknowledges the personal journey involved in finding suitable wood and the deep connection that can develop between the builder, the material, and the final instrument.
I can see that.
However, a significant challenge for those wanting to build their own is accurately achieving those specific internal shapes that contribute to a great sound. Experienced builders often develop their own techniques and may not share them widely.
Of course.
Which further fuel the idea of using computer simulation to predict and design these crucial internal forms.
Because relying solely on traditional experience without a way to systematically experiment and predict outcomes can be quite limiting for someone starting out.
It is, And while there are mathematical formulas that can describe the acoustics of very simple tube shapes like perfect cylinders or cones, these don't really represent the more complex and irregular internal shapes found in many didgeridoos. This limitation highlighted the need for a more sophisticated approach to analyze these more intricate forms.
And that more advanced approach is the transmission line model, right? So how does that method actually work?
The transmission line modeling method is a technique that's particularly well suited for calculating those input impedance spectra we've been talking about for didgeridoos with complex internal shapes. The basic idea is to take the didgeridoo's air column and divide it conceptually into a series of many small, almost infinitesimally thin, cylindrical and conical sections. Now, while minor bends or slight deviations from a perfectly circular cross-section in the real instrument don't tend to have a huge impact on the sound. The precise way the cross-sectional area changes along the entire length of the didgeridoo is absolutely crucial and needs to be accurately represented by these small sections in the model.
So it's like approximating the complex flowing shape of the inside of the didgeridoo.
Precisely.
With a series of very tiny, simpler geometric shapes all connected.
For each of these idealized small sections, we understand the mathematical rules, which are expressed as complex transmission matrices that describe how sound waves travel through them. These rules take into account factors like the friction of the air against the walls of the tube. These individual transmission matrices are then mathematically combined to calculate the overall acoustic behavior of the entire didgeridoo. Working from the open bell end all the way back to the mouthpiece. This allows us to determine how the instrument will react to the sound waves and air movement generated by the player across a wide range of frequencies.
And it's amazing how this seemingly simple instrument can produce such a wide range of sounds.
It really is. And it makes you think about how the physical properties of other instruments contribute to their sound, too.
Yeah, like a violin string or a brass instrument or a drum.
It's all about physics in the end.
It is. It is. And it's what makes music so fascinating.
Well said. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the didgeridoo.
Yeah. Maybe this deep dive sparked a new curiosity to explore that relationship between instrument design and sound.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Until next time.